What is up YouTube, it is Matty and welcome to this war recap where I'm sat in the clan called DTS and you guys might recognise a couple of people in this clan. I'm just going to quickly go onto the info to show you. First person you're probably going to recognise will be Pliny, and if I keep scrolling down you'll also see Krull, who used to be known as Crowl, the pilot actually. I know he does repairs on jets. Two really sound guys there. They were with Emphatic for a long time. I've came over to visit them in their in the clan they are in, and yeah, I mean the guys know the 3-star strategies, and much like any other clan that you sit in, you're going to see a lot of Govaho, because Govaho is the new meta for the game. It's extremely powerful. And I just think that more people are becoming aware of it now. Obviously more YouTubers are sort of starting to push the content out, although me and a few others were quite actively pushing out Govaho, and it was quite active within the hardcore war community. I think you're going to see it a lot more now. So first I wanted to ask you guys, are you still watching this series? Do you still enjoy these war recaps? Are you still picking up things from it? What I'm going to try and do this episode is sort of take different aspects of raid and try and pick up some tips that I can offer you on a per raid basis. And this one, Attacked by Pliny, what I liked is the timing of everything. And if you see what I mean by waiting for the funnel to be created, getting those wall breakers in, making sure the mortar wasn't going to take him down, and watch how early he gets the poison down here. The poison's already down and slowing down those balloons. He hasn't dropped the Valkyries until the sort of the clan castle have targeted and sat on top of that golem to make sure that the Valkyries were not going to get smashed by the clan castle troops. Because I'll tell you now, I did a raid the other day on my Channel 10 account and a single loon was in the CC with a golem, and before the golem had even popped, which normally takes the Valks down to half health, the loon had just done a single loon drop and killed all of my Valkyries. And it happens because Valkyries like to clump up. A loon will just wreck the entire horde in one hit. It's unforgiving. So the way to counter it is to be two things. Number one, get your poison down nice and early to make sure the loons are sat in it for as long as physically possible. And the second one is to make sure that you drop your Valkyries after you drop your after the clan castle troops are already targeting another unit, preferably the golems. Now the way you've got there's a balance here, because you don't want to drop your Valks too late so that they run to one side, or if you are planning to drop them quite late and your golems have to go quite a distance before they pull the CC, maybe you need to create an extra wide funnel and account for that as a as part of the raid, or if you are able to do a quick easy CC pull, or even send a hog in, even if the clan castle is the other side of the map and you're attacking from the opposite side, whether it's worth pulling the clan castle at the start of the raid if it's possible, and then dropping the golem so that they instantly pulled, they're going towards the golem, you put your poisons down in good time, and then you start dropping the heroes, the wall breakers, the jump spells, or whatever you need as part of the kill squad to go in. But for that raid, what I would recommend is to try and pick up the timing of it all, the understanding of that your Valks are quite vulnerable and you need to protect them. They're massively powerful, but the clan castle is one of the first and biggest threats that they will come against in any raid. So now we're jumping over to Lloyd Christmas, which is clearly a Dumb and Dumber reference. What he's doing is creating a big wide funnel, but what he's also doing is pumping wizards into the middle. The risk of that is that if they're all heading towards, if the things are heading towards the middle, and then there's nothing to anchor the troops in, and you can see already the king has walked. He's been okay with the Valkyries though, so it might save the raid, it might save his bacon, but it's not a good start. And the reason the king walked is because the wizards that were placed in the middle were taking down the gold mines that would have sort of guided the king and the Valkyries in. So he made it almost difficult upon himself. So if he'd have adjusted the raid slightly and just done wizards on the edge, on the extremities, and then sort of allowed his king to run up and start, and Valkyries to run up and start hitting the mines that were in the middle, it would have just guided them into the base, and it would have been a hell of a lot easier. But anyway, Govaho is massively powerful. Things don't always work out with it, so sometimes your Valks just run completely off course and end up smashing outside the base and running a ring around it anyway. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So you've got to take every raid with a pinch of salt. You know, you can plan it out as much as you like, but there's always an element of uncertainty. And for that reason, that's why I never plan the hog drop. I always sort of leave it, unless there's an obvious one where you know where the giant bombs are and you can find a path to make it so that you can just drop the lot down. They're gonna be okay and dodge the giant bomb threats. In which case you could probably just dump them quite early in the raid. I tend to sort of use my hogs as I see fit, as the raid pans out. Once like the Valks are down and started moving inwards, because they're just, the unpredictability can be quite alarming. So yeah, that's what I'd say on this one. Always be careful on the funneling, because here too much funneling in the middle didn't create a path in. So if I go back and scout, you see what I mean. If I was doing this raid, I'd probably drop golems in the middle. Is fine, it's not an issue on this base. I'd have probably dropped one up by the barracks and one up by down by the gold mine here. They'd have gone to the same place pretty much, and then using a wizard to cover this collector. Hopefully you'd get the cannon's attention, but I doubt it. But if you did, that's perfect, because you can funnel the second collector. You can definitely get that dark barracks. So I'd probably drop 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5, but probably not actually. I'll drop the queen sort of by this plant over here. She'd take the camp, the barracks down, and then use like this gold mine down here or this one here to anchor in your king and Valkyries. And they probably that one actually. That would probably, I think that's the best bet to get your guys going in. That's what I meant. Next one we're going to go for is number 8. No, we're not, because I've already shown this attack, I believe. Number 6 is what we're going to show. So, Uncle Rico, what's he doing? So, Govaho, surprise, surprise. It's just ridiculously powerful. So, again, similar scenario, funneling, using wizard funnels in the middle. But then again, there's quite a high density of buildings there, so it doesn't matter as much on this raid. Jump spells there. Big wide funnels created. The only thing here is that the king might pull Valkyries away and then towards the camp, so you've got to be careful of that. Massive P.E.K.K.A. in the CC, Valkyries in, so actually dropping a P.E.K.K.A. into a Valkyrie. Poisons are not down quick enough. Oh, now they're down, but he's put them both down, so that might help him out. But the wizards at the top weren't in it, so it could have been a bit better on the funnel placements and a little bit sooner on dropping them down, but everything's okay. They've been able to get through. Probably a heal spell for those Valkyries would have been, and it would have been better a bit sooner than he dropped it. I'll tell you that. I think maybe a good 5 to 10 seconds earlier on that heal spell might have helped him out a lot more, but it didn't matter. The hogs that he sent him through the top are still coming through. The P.E.K.K.A.'s just about died. Caught the double with the queen, which helped out his hogs massively. And he has got a large portion of the base to finish up takedown. Got some good kill squad on those wizards at the some good cleanup on the wizards at the top, some good cleanup with the hogs at the bottom, and Valk. And there you go, you're able to get the 3-star. So good job by Uncle Rico. Nice raid. Could have done with a little bit of tweaking on a couple of things, but it didn't matter too much. Let's check out another raid by him where it's another triple. Similar attack style. Govaho with 6 Valks is quite rare these days. I mean, the guy's chucking in a P.E.K.K.A. with it. You can see this is a better funnel. This is what I prefer, where there's like, he almost put 3 wizards either side, and then his king and queen in the middle. I tend to drop my king a bit later, almost like with the Valkyries. P.E.K.K.A.'s down. Got to be careful here, but everything is going straight inside. Hasn't given the poisons were not down soon enough, should have been down a bit quicker. There is a rage spell there as well, so the Valks are going a little bit mental now, where they're trying to figure out where to go, and a couple of Valks are dying. So that didn't work out very smoothly at all. Unfortunately, the Valks didn't get. They could have had a lot more value. Let's put it that way, with better earlier poison placement. Slightly later on the Valk placement as well. Only slightly though. You have to be careful on that one. Because or even a wider funnel might have been the better choice for that one. But it didn't matter because, well, in the end, it didn't matter because he was still able to push through. His Queen done some great work. That P.E.K.K.A. seems to be really helping out, actually. I'm impressed by what the P.E.K.K.A.'s done on both of his raids. Just a single max P.E.K.K.A. in the CC just to help out. Give a bit of DPS, throw them in with the Valks. Bit of HP as well, actually, because if we go back and have a quick check at the actual HP difference between a level 4 Valk, where are we, which is 900, and a P.E.K.K.A. We're all the way at 3,500, so that's going to add some major HP in with your army. Anyway, now moving up to is that Weenie's? No, here we go. Weenie's raid on number 8. Let's check it out. In fact, it's the wrong raid, wrong war. Wow, what a noob. I was going to say, I thought we just watched number 8, which we did. 6. No! Wow. I'm an absolute noob. Okay. Just don't say anything. It's fine. Number 4, Krull. Righto. Krull dropping, I think, more like 11 Valkyries. This is more of the quantity I'm happy with at Town Hall 9. Between 8 and 12. Unless you're going for a mass Valk. So if you're going a Goverho, the traditional Goverho, where you've got a number of hogs and a good number of Valks as well, I think between 8 and 12 Valkyries is going to become the normal, because you can get the extra Valk, because they're so powerful and they've got okay HP. They've got huge damage per second. You can get really good value with them. So yeah, he's got 11 Valkyries. So watch what they can do on this raid. So rage spell at the start. I mean, rage with Valks is ridiculous. I rarely use it at Town Hall 9. Good choice to drop the heal there. The Tesla farm is brutal, but if the Valks will get it down quick enough, so it's not going to do too much damage. The only thing he hasn't got here is an exit strategy of that core. But the great thing is about Valkyries, they are ridiculous on the damage per second and attack speed, and they just slam through lava walls like they're nothing. With the Valkyrie split as well. I mean, the hog. I don't know where. Oh, here come the hogs. But with the Valks splitting. A couple have ran around the outside of the base, but you can see here just the complementing of Valks and hogs. It's just you can smash bases with it. Look how many Valkyries he's got left there. They are just going to tear through. I mean, look how quick they get through walls as well. These are level 9 walls and level 10 walls, and they just melt through them like butter. People have invested a lot of time and energy to get that level of walls, trust me. Getting that many lava walls is a grind, and Valks just ruin it. Ruin it, wreck it. They just destroy bases. Next one by Krull again. Similar sort of strategy, similar sort of army. Got a couple more hogs. Has got an EQ. Beautiful EQ spot by that Expo. You literally just do what he's done there. Boom. Look how much of that base you can open up. I think that is about, excluding the outside buildings, 60% of the base is just opened up there. If you exclude the external buildings. Let's see how early he is on the poison. He hasn't got poison. Risky, because a very wizard heavy army here. That rage is going to, I mean, it melted his king. I mean, they went down quick because of the Valks, but wow, his king just got shredded by the by those. Then But I guess when you've got that many Valkyries, and if the King's the only thing getting injured in that way, it's not the end of the world in an army like this. I love the way he's using the Hogs to clear up around the top and just run around while the Valks run on the inner core layer. Just perfect use of... the Valks then got hit by the double giant bomb. Queen ability. Queen's going to save the day a little bit on this one. It looks like she's going to take down 2 defences, then go for that cannon soon, I think. And oh no, she's dropped back and she's going to go for the barracks. Never mind, but the Hogs have come through as well and been able to take it down. So again, great use of combination of Valkyries and Hogs to just eliminate a base quickly, effectively. And yeah, it does require some planning. You need to find a nice entry point. You need to be able to guide your Valks around a base. You need to be able to figure out where the best place to put those Hogs in. And if you look again with all those, I mean, there are a lot of potential giant bomb threats up in the top in that upper layer. But if he's assuming that there's some double giant bombs by the air defences, which is a fair assessment, his Hog placement was fine, and they just ran that whole course of the base around the edge, and just that's the beauty of it. What Valkyries are good at is going inside and destroying a core. What Hogs are good at is taking down defences, particularly ones that they're very close to. Like edge defences. So if Hogs are taking edge defences down, Valks are taking the core down, the base is done. Good. Final attack we're going to show from DTS is the attack by Tommy, which, to be fair, he was asking me for advice on the base. I said try queen walk into a Govaho. I told him I didn't give him much time, I'm not going to lie. His heroes aren't that high either, and his Hogs aren't max. So you know, there's a few factors on this base, but I should have given him more time. But it was just I was in a situation at work where I just couldn't invest much into him, which is a shame, because I reckon he could have got the triple, and I'm massively impressed with his attempt this raid. Bear in mind, here, first mistake, poison spell too close to the healers. Should have had it sat further back, because he ended up having to drop the rage and the poison and the rage. I think he might have been okay if he'd have dropped the poison spell a bit better without wasting the rage spell there. So could have helped him out a little bit. The queen walk here could have got the he broke in the wall. Could have got things moving a lot quicker here again. No reason for the waiting. So his time is trickling down, and it is time that kills this raid. And this is moments he's just wasted the best part of 20 seconds watching what his queen was doing. And I get it if you're not if you haven't got a huge sort of wealth of 3-star attacking or queen walking anyway. There's a lot going on. It's complicated, but that waiting there to do the rest of the funneling is what cost him the raid. Unfortunately, the king placement and the wall breakers and golem going in, it was all a bit didn't quite work out, didn't funnel what it needed to, which then resulted in the disaster scenario of having to use the free spell on the first inferno, not the second. The giants getting behind the Valks, so the Valks got targeted. The Valks running around the outside of the core. But the impressive thing here, the healers have switched to the giants. They're helping them out. The giants are going and wrecking the core, which is impressive. Rage spell to help them out, and he's going to send in some Hogs soon. Here you can see they're starting to go in. He is unfortunately straight onto a wizard tower, which is going to splat most of them. But again, Hogs and Queen coming out to help out. So there was a lot of things that didn't go right on this raid. A few things that did go right. Could have been the triple. It was a great attempt though, and I didn't want to show this raid because of the the almost triple. I wanted to show this raid because it's a guy, from what I know anyway, Tommy's not too used to this style of attack, and it was a really solid effort. And I think there's a few things he could have definitely tweaked there. Like, for example, the Valkyries going in at the same time as the Giants was a mistake. Giants need to tank for the heroes. Sorry, Giants needed to tank the Inferno beams, and because the Valks ran at first, they got instantly targeted, which meant he had to use the freeze on the first Inferno. Another thing, obviously, the whole point of sending in your Golem and the King in at the top side over here would have been to funnel, take that layer of defences down, but the funneling didn't work, so could have maybe dropped his Golem down, then dropped a couple of hogs on that Archer tower, then used Wizards to take down the first and second layer of defences, which would have guided his Valks through the core. So again, there's quite a few ways of things he could have done. So here, look, you got an Archer tower that's just hit 3 Wizards, and then the King, and then it's going to just sit on the King for a while. So because he didn't take that Archer tower down, and it would have only taken 2 or 3 hogs to do it, it ended up costing him 3 Wizards, which would have taken down probably the Wizard tower, the cannon, the air defense, and you probably wanted it to have taken down the Expo and the air defense to be your main funneling objectives there. So again, couple of things that could have resulted in a much better hit. I still think the healers would have switched and helped out the Valks and Giants, which is the goal, or the idea of why I sort of suggested do a Queen Walk into a Gova, like where the Valks and Giants go in, almost where the Queen meets them. So that I think it was a good plan, but just not quite there on execution. But that's fine. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway, great war from DTS. Really happy to have been involved in it. Hope you enjoyed the recap and me expressing my thoughts on some areas of these raids. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I do read them. I do enjoy seeing what people have to say. They do flash up on my phone, so throughout the day you will be, and when you're dropping your comments, I do see what you're saying. And similarly, if you're not a subscriber of mine, why not become one? Peace out, guys.